Viva Las Vegas! Friday nights, Winston Cup, FSBRacing.com. Welcome one and all to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Sin City. I'll be joined very momentarily by the great Milt Mittner Jr. We got a great field here tonight, as usual for this Winston Cup Friday night. Just more and more guys are getting in on the action. I think we got some newcomers tonight as well. As you see, we got the 02 car of Dave Simons hooking up. So still new guys coming into the league. We got a bunch of veterans. We got the legends of FSB here as well. The 18 car, Robert Bocum's here, of course. Points leader, second place Steve Weber. Jeff Hale. We got a bunch of guys here looking at qualifying as Happy Hour is winding down. Joe Cutter. How about that, man? Not that I'm surprised, Joe, but nice to see a fresh face on the front row.
We don't need anything over the top today. We got a good race car, we got a good driver, we got a good pit crew. All we got to do is just everybody carry their weight. We'll be just fine at the end of this thing. 10-4. Feel, bud.
And Las Vegas Motor Speedway, 1.5 mile cookie cutter. Some love them, some hate them. I'm indifferent as the broadcaster. I'm here to bring the race, and it should be exciting with a huge, well, maybe not a huge field, but a very large field. See everyone slowly gridding in the pit lane here. Looking down the line, and we see the 18, the 17 right behind. Look at that, 18, 17, 16, all lined up in a row. That would be Robert Bocum, T-Roy in the 17, and Dan Francisconi in the 16. A couple of my teammates running in this, three teammates here of mine, three teammates of Milty's in the field. So should be a very entertaining race. 100 plus laps here at Vegas. Tire wear is an issue. A give and take is a must here. And Milty, Viva Las Vegas, baby.
Viva Las Vegas. Hey, we got a big ass field here, and this is FSBRacing.com. Friday night Winston Cup, and let's get it on. And
yeah, Joe Cutter on the pole, Milty. Wow. Jeff Hale outside. Gotta like seeing Joe Cutter on the pole, Milty.
Well, that's a slim. What team is Joe on? The Slim Sim front row or what? I know we got Jeff Hale there, your Wednesday night winner.
Yeah, Jeff Hale.
Or almost winner.
Almost winner. We got the 80 of Ed Finley also with a quality qualifying run. Live Fire Racing, my former team from last season. So shout out to Ed with a great qualifying. Of course, Apple Collision Centers, Milty, sponsoring the Winston Cup Series, carrying sponsorship, the 6 and the 18. Robert Bocum, Mark DeSenza, we're Green Flag Racing. And this is, of course, the diciest part of this race right now. 2 wide, row after row after row, Milty. 15 deep almost.
Well, right off the bat, first of all, it's been a great couple of weeks running in-car and broadcasting, and it gets to show you how good these guys are. And we got a couple new guys here that are in the mix and running well right off the bat.
Oh, and we got a couple cars in the wall, Milty. The 30 and the 21 came together there a little. And I'm sure we have a caution out. Didn't see the start of it, but we do have a caution out, so we'll be able to back this up real quickly and see what happened here.
That's one of the new guys, unfortunately, Melvin Gafford.
Yeah,
21.
And it looked like the 30 car clipped the apron and got pushed up the track and into the 21 car and collected them. And unfortunate occurrence there. Mike is excellent driver, and loose setup, Milty. This Las Vegas setup is a little loose on cold tires.
Yeah, coming from experience and from, but more from hanging out with the 108 last night. He was doing a long green flag run testing, which you have to do in this league. Practice, practice, practice to compete, and he was really noticing a lot of wear on the right rear, and the more you push it, the looser that sucker gets.
Absolutely, yeah. This is a slick setup early on. It settles in nicely if you are gentle with it and not abusive on the tires early on in your run. You'll be rewarded, and very much the opposite. If you're hard on your tires early on, you're going to be punished. So early on, you want to take it easy on those cold tires. Let them get up to speed and temp, and then you're good. And then it's just about tire management for the rest of the run.
Yeah, and back at the front with the 88, to answer your question, yeah, I think with Joe, he's got a lot of admin responsibilities, life responsibilities. I think tonight he might have got some time to get a little practice time in, and a lot of times that can be the difference. We all have busy lives and stuff, and the competition is so competitive. We'll see how it pans out. Also looking at the 80, want to see if he can finish the deal. Shown flashes of speed and has won in the rookie division on this big stage. Can he maintain that top 5 position?
And going through the field a little here, Milty. There we see our leader Joe Cutt, the 29 of Jeff Hale. We're very familiar with Jeff from the Wednesday night race. He had the car. I thought he had again, as I said in the broadcast, I thought he had the best car in the field.
He's kind of like Kevin Harvick.
And just couldn't reel Matt in the end there. And but again, he's up at the front. He's in that BMW. I won't hold it against him. 6 car of Mark DeSenza there in third. Here's the 54 car, Bill Yarbrough in fourth. The Cobra.
You never see. Do you ever
151 Guy Petra.
You ever see the 54 out of the top 5?
It's very rarely.
Do you ever? You just don't.
Even spun on the last lap and still finished 5th.
Yeah. When is he going to get a little bit of luck here and not run into a brick wall like the 29 or the 15 or the 18? Don't see the 15.
I'm sure it's just a matter of time. There's that 80 car that Milty talked about, Ed Finley in the United States Air Force. Salute to the military, Milty. Keep us safe. We appreciate it. 98.
You from Jersey? I'm from Jersey.
98 car.
Remember Saturday Night Live?
Sammy Young. Shout out to Sammy. Doing well, winning some races. Short track series, doing extremely well this season.
He's a stud, man.
Got something for Robert Bocum in that short track series this season. There's the 9 of Ken Hansen. Ken showing up on Tuesday night, Milty, for a real chicken run action. Good to see Ken running a couple more series. I heard he's got some time off coming up, and he said look out in some of these other series that he doesn't race. He might just surprise a few people. Won't surprise me, but he may surprise a few other people. And there we see our series sponsors. The 18 car, Oliver Bocum, Apple Collision Centers, who we do appreciate sponsoring our series. Long yellow here at Las Vegas.
Yeah, already cars a lap down, I think. No, it's not showing that on the, right now it's showing 28 cars on the lead lap, so.
Yeah, lights are out now on the pace car, so we are going back to racing. 88's going to lead us down, Milty, and Joe's now the anxiety of maybe on the pole. I know for me, I've been on only 1 or 2 poles in my short rookie career, Milty, but both times I had a lot of anxiety on the pole. It's all mental, of course, but it happens. Maybe not for you, since you're always winning races and up front.
Yeah,
for us commoners,
are you kidding me?
butterflies, Milty, when I have that pole position.
Well, I ain't up front anymore in this league, in this day and age. I'm like the song "Glory Days," but these days there's new sheriffs in town right here, and a good example is seeing the 71 of Jim Talbert win the truck race last night. I've been running about 10th around with him in these races, and I'm like, oh. And then I see him pull off a win. That shows you the depth of this league.
Yeah, Jim had a fast truck all night, and as he posted in the forum, there was a fortunate for him, unfortunate for a lot of us, caution during an exchange of green flag runs. Yes, at the Monster Mile, Milty, with 25 trucks on the track, there was green flag runs and green flag stops at the Monster Mile. And Jim kept those tires underneath him and stayed out. And when that caution came out, he trapped a good amount of the field the lap down, and that really allowed him to work his race proper. And yeah, well-deserved win for Jim Talbert last night. Good to see.
The 29, Run Like Hail,
is running like hail right now.
And this is what this guy does, especially when he's in second. We've seen him reinvent himself in this great league with starting from farther back. But when he's up close like that, he won.
Yes, and that he's comfortable leading laps. Some, like I said, Milty, some guys when they get out front, there's anxiety. Even though they're good racers and they deserve to be up front, they get anxious. And some guys are less comfortable. They'd rather lead like the last lap only if they had a choice. But Jeff's the opposite. He wants to be out front. He wants to lead every lap if he has a choice. And right now he has the lead. The 6 of Mark DeCenza working under the 88 now. Joe cut back to third. Bill Yarbrough had a good run. He slipped up just a little bit in that turn there. Had to gather it back in. Did that. So he's continuing right there in 4th place, and then we got a gaggle behind him, 151, the 80, the 98, all there. So some good racing here at the front, Milty. 2 wide action at Las Vegas.
Well, discretion is a better part of valor, and the 88 knows. These guys are so good, they're going to run better in the short run. So Joe's style and skill level at this point in this league is much like mine, which you have to understand where your strengths are, and what they are is usually trying to, save tires, and he also blended in there. If you watch that, the 54 knew that he got freight trained by the leaders, and Bill's an experienced champion. He's not going to push the issue at this point.
No, and you can see Joe did a great job, because when you get pushed to the outside here at Vegas on newer tires, especially, guys can get underneath you and freight train you. Joe did a great job on the outside there, keeping the speed up, and saw the opening and joined the lower line there successfully, and really only lost 2 positions now. And now he can get into the draft, Milty, and he can save a little fuel and tire.
Absolutely. Part of being a
80
pro
off
is
the wall. Evasive action.
That's hard damage for the 80.
Yeah, that was a hard hit there. Kept it together, though. And he's still going. No caution.
They've not been able on that team to get consistency. They're showing some speed. In the rookie division, he's done well, however, but in this big field like this, they still got a little bit of work to do on consistency on the long run without getting damaged, and it's tough in this league. pressure and the speed you have to run is tough.
Yes, and we're seeing this. We had a little shudder there in the server, Milty. Looks like everything's okay again, but little glitch there. Hopefully not me. But the 18 of Robert Bokum now is starting to work his way to the front, and we're on lap 15. Of course, we did have that early yellow, so not quite 15 green flag laps on those tires, but Vegas is will quickly erode tires, and you can see Robert now is leading the second pack and closing in.
And when we say that stuff, we don't mean it to be demeaning or anything. It's just the fact of sim racing and the skill levels and what each driver needs to do. Believe me, I was out there and I have a whole friggin' checklist getting back on the track of what I need to do to get better because, whoa, doggy. I mean, you're talking pit stops, you're talking tire wear, everything. These guys have just keep getting better and better, man. Very humbling.
Yes, and it is. It very much is. You're absolutely right, Melty.
That's why we race, though, man. I mean, we want that competition. That's what makes this league so great is the skill level from top to bottom.
Absolutely, and we're looking here now at the 23 car, Jim Scharf, Milty's favorite car, the pink Freightliner. Little squirrely there, little connection issue, I think, from the 23. Kind of blinked away from everything for a second there. He's battling the 02 car, Milty. He's a newcomer, Dave Simons, in that 02 car.
Yeah, and he comes recommended from another league. Like these days in this league, you still get some new guys right out the box, and you can still buy this. And that's what we encourage in this league is got these different divisions from rookie or from FSB Cup to pro divisions for the evolution of sim racing. But most of the time, you see these new guys right off the bat drive very well.
Yes, they do. And speaking of driving well, Milty, the 29 covering the field so far. Mark DeCenza right on his back bumper, hasn't left it. And there we see the 88 of Joe Cutt. He's in third still. He's done a very good job of keeping pace with the leaders. And he's right in the position that you need to be. We've had about, I'd say, 15 green flag laps now, Milty. Tire wear is a factor here, so I think we'll see a wide range of pit stops.
Yeah, it's one of Joe's best tracks, and also, you know, I'm sure he's obviously put some time in this. A guy that's run good every week too. That's in that P2 spot that's Mark DeCenza. You know, he man. I mean, he's just there every week, but just can't quite. You know, he helped Matt beat Bokum by a nose there last week with the draft. He was the bridesmaid, not the bride. So. I think he's looking to change that tonight. If you're watch out for that 6 car. We got a car on pit road.
Yeah, the 30 car, Mike Guidry shot down pit road there. Of course, Mike was involved in that earlier incident, so he might have some issues with the car on top of everything else. And there was the 83, Steve Weber, Milty, second place in points. Desperately trying to hold on to the torrid pace set by Robert Bokum, but he's only 19 markers down, Milty, as we have caution out. And 19 markers, you're in touch with you're still right there.
He's there in every division. He's just he's a prime example of you know, if you want to start from scratch or almost scratch. Yeah, he was in another league before, but he has totally developed himself into a consummate pro. Just there every week, doesn't wreck people, doesn't push it, always races where his car and his skill level is at his best. Those are the kind of drivers you really, you know, respect everybody out here. But
Yeah, he's done a great job, and he's really showing it. I mean, he's taking on some admin duties now, and he's racing
Yeah, and that's
better than he ever has. So I mean, he's got a lot on his plate, and very impressive that he's, so high up in the points in where he's racing. And so that's what we like to see. And we're seeing right now, Milty, is rush hour on the Las Vegas Strip here. Everyone coming down pit lane.
This is very important right here for these leaders. Positions can be changed right here. Yellow flag stops, along with green flag stops in this league. As good as these guys are, but they're just as good in these yellow flag stops. And look at how close they are. You gotta understand, when you're in the driver's seat, you got those pit wall things. I drive in the cockpit, so you have to memorize your starting position, and you have to know what each one of these cars and where they started. You have to memorize that. So if a guy passes you on the track, then you're gonna have to avoid him on pit road.
And we're seeing everyone stream out of pit lane, and looks like everyone came in at the same time, and everyone's leaving at the same time, and does not appear to be any pit incidents either, Milty. And that's impressive.
Yeah, well, just every week, FSB.com, FSB TV, Friday nights, Wednesday nights.
Wow, we just saw the crew there cut a chunk off of Mark Favorite's car as he left the pits, and yeah, they cut that bumper off, Milty.
I think Mark's had one of those weeks where it's just that, Mark's a great driver and a top 5 candidate every time, like all these guys. And but some weeks you just have to, bury him in the sand and move on. It hasn't been a good week for him.
Yeah, we're looking back here to see how he got that rear end damage. And we're watching him here, and it looks okay so far. Here back on lap 17. And a contact with the 07 car sent him hard into the wall. And that was why he has that bad. He's got a bad everything now, man. That was a hard contact, outside wall hit by Mark, with contact from the 07 from behind. And
yeah, Saska is one of the newer guys in the league, but I've run some practice laps with him, and he's very clean. But racing he just drove it in there a little, and the 44 defended pretty tight there. The only thing I can say is at that point you probably should get out of the way, but at the same time the guy that makes the contact gets the incident. So that's the way it is in racing. But just my quick look at it,
Yeah, and on top of that, it did not cause a caution, Milty. So, but
that's not an ink.
The FSB rules say that if you cause damage to another vehicle, it could be construed as an incident, cautions aside. Of course, anytime you cause someone else to spin and crash and bring out a caution, or self-spin and bring out a caution, of course, that does count as well.
Well, the 2-incident rule is unique, and Jim Ray's rules and the adminship's rules throughout 11 years of experience, the way Jim started them out with, taking the NASCAR principles, and then as the league and situations arose, in fact, some of those rules were written because of me, which I'm kind of proud of, but I mean, you find out that certain things, and those rules and one of those rules is the 2-incident rule, and it's very important because it mandates clean driving, and cars that aren't damaged on the track, or you get 2, you're done. It's from the top to the bottom. I think it's one of the greatest rules Jim's ever come up with, and
I agree. I think it's a proper rule. I think it encourages give and take, and when there isn't, and vice versa, Milty. If you're not really having that rule in the back of your mind as you're driving, you're gonna quickly find yourself either getting an email and being parked, or having to park yourself. So it's something that you have to think about when you're early on in races and you're in a battle. Do you want that battle at that time? And we're hoping the answers early on in the race is no, it's not worth it. If a guy's dogging me from behind, I'm going to give him that position up and continue on. And continuing on is what Jeff Hale's doing as we get back to green flag racing here. Jeff in first, Mark in second, Joe Cutt third. Joe Cutt doing the right things so far. Milty has the pole position, check. Staying up with the leaders, check. Lead laps, check. So Joe checking off a lot of things on his how to win a race checklist.
Yeah, and he tends to start in the back usually and move to the front. And it's Sam Young's hard in the wall. He keeps going as the caution out.
Trying to find Sammy. There he is.
Not sure. Caught him going into the wall. Not sure how the contact happened. We'll have to review that.
And we can see the right side of the car there for Sam. He is bashed in a bit there. And taking a quick look back here, I think we're continuing under green, but let's see what happened here. I think there were a couple other cars involved in that.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that.
And
you're looking back too?
Yeah, we're taking a look at it here. We see the 43 car got a little up high, and it was a 3-wide situation in contact with the 80 car. Sent Sam hard into the outside wall. The 43 got high. Sam ducked under him, but it became a 3-wide situation. And 3-wide at Vegas is not the best situation to put yourself in. Unintentionally, of course. It wasn't a situation where Sam pushed a 3-wide issue. It was the 43 car getting a little high, and I think he got off the gas to gather it back in, and that opened the door. Sam went in, but there was also an 80 underneath there, and with the 3-wide, there was some contact there, Milty.
Yeah, I just saw it live on my second viewer. And it looked like also when Sam made that move to go in, then he got loose and came down on the 80. So he definitely was trying to shoot the gap there, but he got a little spooked by Bisconer in the 43, and then when he got spooked, then he oversteered the car a little bit.
And we continue to stay green though, Milty. And looking at this racing here, it's
gonna be good.
It's some racing going on here. We're on lap 33 of 106, but these guys are third of the race through already. These guys are going at it. We're still seeing a lot of 2-wide, and Joe Cutt. Oh no!
Joe Cutt is around.
Yeah, and and this guy's still avoiding the carnage, and the 21 car takes a wild ride into the grass. But what a save. Wow. All I can say to that, Milty, is wow.
Oh, the cars are stopping. Ed in the 80 almost ran in the back of somebody there.
Yeah, there's carnage all over the track here. The 21 car, Melvin Gafford, another newcomer, Milty, had his hands full. He went down into the grass there, and usually when you go into the grass, you do not recover, but he did. So I wonder if
there's a lineup problem or when they came around. That was really
things
close.
are really scrambled up here. Yellow is out. Once the yellow comes out, if you're out of position and you've taken the yellow, Milty, you won't get penalized.
No.
You won't get penalized. Your spotter will tell you to stay behind the whatever car. You can't cross the start-finish line without penalty. You just can't pit. If you pit, then you get that black flag for passing under yellow. Well, Well, Milty, let's see. Let's go
Wow,
back
did
to.
Joe get damaged there, or
Yeah, he
because we were
certainly.
watching that, and then the other stuff happened.
Yeah, he certainly did get some damage. Let's take a quick look back here. We're following Joe Cut now, Milty. It should be coming up momentarily on your screen. And everything looked really good. Some tight racing there, of course. He was battling the 6 and the 54 were right in there, but all 4 nose to tail.
I'm gonna see if I can do all 4 here.
And Joe just got a little out of shape, and then a little bump from the 54 from behind, and he went around into the outside wall, and then contact with some cars trying to avoid him. And then as he was stopped and got going again, cars were still streaming around him, and more wrecking.
Yeah, I couldn't catch it on my own game.
17
so I'm watching
car.
it there. Oh yeah, the 88 got loose.
17 car of T-Roy also went around.
Oh, hard
and
to go. I think Saska got him.
Yeah, and T-Roy went around, and that's what caused Ed to have to get hard on the brakes to almost come to a complete stop. Pops had nowhere to go, trapped against the outside wall. The 21 car, Milty, again.
17 damage.
The 21 car took the wild ride of the race so far, and let's watch that. You see the 21 crossing the start-finish line and just avoided Joe Cut into the grass, onto pit lane, and then out of pit lane. Hopefully he doesn't get a penalty there on a black flag for clipping the end of pit lane, because that would be a shame. What a great save there by the 21 car.
I think the 21's got an eel.
Yeah, because if you clip pit lane there, you may get a more stout penalty than that.
I'm watching him live.
Let's hope not.
He's back on pit row again.
Yeah, and,
Melvin Gafford.
Yeah, we're live again, seeing the 21 into the pits. Yeah, that was a crazy caution. Joe Cut, man. And we see some damage to the back of T-Roy's car. So, yeah, T-Roy also is just real bad spot right past start-finish line, Milty, where Joe Cut's car came to rest. And as the caution came out, people were lifting and people were still racing back to the caution. The car was sitting in harm's way still, just past the start-finish line. And that's a really awkward location as you're trying to get back to the line, still able to race at race speed while other guys are coming to getting on the binders to avoid Joe Cut.
Yeah, nothing the 54 could do. That was like a boop, and that's it. I mean, there's nothing. You can't even react. He probably never even turned the steering wheel and then went, oh shit, I just got in the back of Joe Cut there, but Joe just got a little loose there. Yeah,
you saw that the car got a little out of shape, and then as he corrected back, the speed lost right in front of Bill Yarbrough there, and yeah, nothing Bill could do except maybe wreck himself to avoid any contact, but just not enough space there to make that quick decision.
43 and little work on the body work. Bisconder did get a point for leading the lap there. So Demi back in again. The 17 coming out, heavy damage on the Fireball.
Yeah, we saw that damage to T-Roy there. It looked like he was caught up in the aftermath of Joe Cut trying to avoid the contact, and also spun and went into the outside wall. And then Pops came by and really had nowhere to go on the outside and bumped T-Roy and the outside wall. And then Ed had to come to almost a complete stop there to let Troy get going again, which he did. So no harm there, but...
well, for every missed opportunity is an opportunity for other drivers in this league. There's some guys out here that would like a little luck.
Absolutely.
And I bet you one of them's that 303 of Ken Ron, he's an FSB admin and a stud. He's got a couple wins this year, or a win, I know for sure, but he's really had just some terrible luck, man. As we go green.
And Jeff Hale leads us out. Robert Bokum now up to second. And
Yarborough against the wall in the 54 out of P3. That's a major disappointment for that team.
yeah, so some problems continue there.
Taking a look at it, I'll go backwards here and see what happened as he enters pit road. He's not racing for points, so most likely he's going to park it. Probably watch the broadcast.
Well, the 29 is still our leader. The 02 now, Milty. The 02, Dave Simons, gets underneath Robert Bokum and takes the second position away from him.
Oh.
And we're under caution.
54.
We got a caution out. Caution's out, Milty.
54 looked like, if I didn't know you can't blow a tire in this game, he looked just like I was watching on TV. He just looked like he blew a tire, but you don't. So
you can't blow a tire in this game.
You don't, but his car just went right up. I don't even know if he just barely grazed the wall. He might have some control issues with his steering wheel or something as he went into pit road, also, or calibration, or I don't know. He went into pit road at 75 miles an hour, so he's probably pissed off and going to exit.
Yeah, we're going to take another look at it.
Car. That's the shit. Something else happened for the caution, my friend.
Yeah, it almost, you're right, Milty. It almost looked like not so much a blown tire, but it looked like he had a tire going down. And
something.
Yeah, which definitely doesn't happen in the game. Man. You can't blow a tire in this game. I've done it.
Absolutely not.
I've done a blown tire in this game in Phoenix,
and
it was very disappointing.
Like a computer. That's like he went. You know what I think he did? I think he went black screen. He's had that issue a couple times. It looked like to me he went black screen and couldn't see nothing, and just had the wherewithal to keep the car up high and not wreck anybody else. That's because I think that's what happened. He had no idea. Then his computer came back on, and he was able to enter pit road. He's had this issue several times with his computer lately, and he is gone. Tough luck for the 54.
Yeah, tough luck. He was
part of sim racing is just like, you don't have blown tires, but what you have is computer issues. So the things you don't have in real life, there's some other things that internet issues. That's all part of sim racing.
It is, and
you lose.
we got an.
How about the 02 there, man?
I'll tell you. And Milty, the Yarborough retirement reason says gearbox, so maybe he lost a gear or something, and drifted up high so he wouldn't get people stacking up behind him, possibly.
Well, he was not. He was in fourth gear right there, so he didn't have any reason to shift unless he accidentally. I seen the great Kevin Lewis do that in the lead at Mexico City in the HSO GTP race. I was following him in second, and he just accidentally. We were so far in front that we were laughing and talking, and lost a little focus and just touched the steering wheel. If you use direct shift, or even if you just barely clip your paddle shifter, sometimes like all of a sudden you go.
It can happen.
Go down a gear. It's happened to me.
It can happen. It can happen. Though, yeah. So our 02 is our leader. Dave Simons, Milty.
Yeah, I just read this in the forum, but I've had a tough day. So he's a buddy of one of the new guys, and I can't remember which guy.
That's right, Andre.
Andre
Fiorini.
Fiorini,
who's having some. Speaking of he's having some connection issues, but man, when he's he's hooked up,
though, man.
He can wheel a car, and
yeah. So that's yep, absolutely. So he brought Dave Simons with him, and welcome to FSB. You're leading the race on national internet TV. Say hi to your mom.
Yeah, no kidding, and some airtime for him. If he hangs in the league, of course, you see he's riding in the Amico car. If That's a throwback to our days of
Yeah, he don't
yore.
he
Some
don't
of
have
our
a paint scheme yet.
right,
That's part of the FSB rules.
some of the youngins probably don't ever remember Amico Milty, but of course we do.
Yes, we do.
And of course, I have fond memories of hooker headers as well as
Absolutely.
the tailgate sponsor for the default car. Once Dave does get membership, if
Some of these guys weren't even born yet.
yeah, he'll be able to throw his own paint job on, like we see with Apple Collision Center's Buick there of Robert Bokum or Ken Ron in the GoPro.
Guess what? Guess who's in P2?
Yeah, Robert Bokum right where he needs to be, Milty.
We tried not to talk about him just because we want to talk about somebody else, but now it's getting to go time.
Yeah, lights are out on the pace car, and we see the 98 of Sam Young, Milty, taking that inside line position. Of course, this is old FSB rules, Milty. Old NASCAR rules, not current rules with wave rounds and lucky dogs. So you have to earn your laps back here at FSB.
Okay, well, this is what we know about the O2. He's friends with Andre, and he's obviously experienced. Now he's on. The lights are on, and he's got the world champion Robert Bokum behind him, and Bokum Motorsports. Let's see what the guy can do, man.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity. He's going to take the green flag. He's going to lead this large field back to green flag racing, and that's what he's done. And Sam with a great restart on the inside as well. Not easy to do. Cannot pass the line before the leader. You get black flags, so you got to kind of make sure you're second across the line.
He's got some damage too.
He has some damage, but the car looks fast so far. He's trying to hang with them.
Trying to get that lap.
Might be difficult, but right now he's side by side with Robert Bokum.
The main thing you want to do is you want to put yourself in the position. The caution comes out now. You might get your lap back. That's one of the ways. If it doesn't cause a possible wreck, leaders in this situation will move over and everybody will type to each other. It's very difficult. You definitely don't want to. Robert Bokum has experienced this a couple times, trying to give guys laps back and wrecked himself or cause the caution. It's very touchy. But as long as you get on their ass like Sammy is, then you're saying, I'm going to dog you. That's what you have to do. If you want to get your lap back, you have to have the skill, and you also have to have the car to do it. Once Sammy falls back here, if he doesn't get this,
yeah, he's doomed, and he's going to give ground.
Then he's doomed. Then you got to give ground. It's
absolutely.
Over,
right now, the car does have damage on the passenger side.
Right up against the wall.
As he just almost, but it looks like he has
handling this pressure well.
Yeah, and it looks like Sam has done some repairs because the car looks a lot better than it did right after the incident. And he's keeping up with the leader. He's actually has a slight gap between him and Robert Bokum now. So certainly not holding up anyone at the moment, which is the other thing as a lap down car you always want to be aware of. But he drifts high up there again. And so the car may not be working ideally. And now that
he's the consummate pro, and
now that he's lost
understands the situation. He may have another chance,
And he will have another chance with the caution is out right now. Can Sam get that lap back? The leader has gotten high. The O2 got really high there.
You're too far back.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to do it. But man, the O2 got up into the gray area there, Milty. And now he's into the wall after the caution is taken. The O2 is into the wall. He's scraping along the top side.
Well, these big fields and these cautions and cars coming back to the line. I mean, it's you see them lost a little focus there for a second, and that's welcome to FSB. He showed some stuff. He still can get a good finish, and just a little braze there. Could still have a car to win.
Yeah, he
I
went.
mean, these are the things when you get in a league with 28 cars. Man, it really gets your attention.
He went pretty hard into the wall there. And I believe he may have disconnected.
Well, you know, most guys, especially if they're not racing for points, or if they think they have a bad car,
Oh, there he
or
is.
if they're
Okay.
if they're just mad at themselves, you know, sometimes they'll, exit out, and that's fine, you know. But he is
on the
track.
Yeah, he is on pit lane.
Jeffrey Stone, heavy damage in that car. Jeffrey's such a cool guy. Done some road racing practice with him, and he's always on the team speak, looking for test sessions and trying to get better. 129, he's a cool dude. But that rear end is beat up.
Right now, we are showing just 2 cars off the lead lap. So that puts 22 cars still on the lead lap, Milty. And the 98 is 2 laps down. The 21 car, 1 lap down. And everyone else on the lead lap. Mike Sanders had to retire with a blown engine. So bad luck for him. The 77 and the 30 also retired. Of course, 38 involved in that early contact.
Well, you just see these drivers. I mean, I've raced a couple races recently, fighting for the top 10 with Mike Sanders, and that's just another stud. I mean, and so for these new guys, they got to take in, hey, it wasn't my night. I had bad luck, but they definitely have skills, and they definitely fit in to the racing and race clean. I would say, view number 1 for these guys was pretty good up to this point.
And 21 car there just bounced off the wall under caution. Don't know if he's having some issues as well, but we can see the car is beat up. And so is the 44 car, Mark Favorite, also beat. So this has been these cars are looking like Bristol or Martinsville, Milty, not Las Vegas.
Well, this is FSB racing, 40% racing. These are long races. It really takes a focus, especially on a Friday night. Long week of work. Everybody's doing their real life stuff. A lot of factors going in. Who's gotten practice? Who's not? Who's been able to run long runs? Who's got experience with all these situations? You have to focus constantly. Just because the yellow comes out, don't mean you still have to have. Next thing you know, you're running in the back of somebody or into the wall to avoid them if you ain't focused.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you gotta. It's 100% focus until that checker flag falls, or you can find yourself into a wall, or like you said, spinning, speeding on pit lane because you're not paying attention to your speed. A lot of bad things happen when your mind's not sharp on the task at hand. And
but their driver Dan Francisconi he stayed right around the top 15 and he's there with some good company. 83 72 Mike Pruitt. As far as I know, they got clean cars, and I think they're looking to pounce here at some point. But when you start that far back, you really get the lag of the restart. As we're coming up on restart here, eventually you gotta do something to try to get some track position.
Yeah, we can see the lap down
cars
queuing up down below. Robert Bokum is our leader now, Milty, leading his first laps here on led right at the end of that last caution, and now continues to lead during the caution. Ken Ron, teammate, second. Ken Hansen, third. Alan Myers, fourth. And Guy Petra, fifth. So, Milty, we're seeing a lot of different cars now moving toward the front as some of these earlier cars have had a little damage and a lot of different strategies of pitting with these cautions and stuff. So, seeing some new faces here in the top five.
Well, We know Hanson's won a race this year in this division on national internet TV and FSB TV, and he knows how to get it done, and he's worked himself into this position. We've seen Alan Myers flirt with it, and he's got some FSB Cup wins and FSB truck wins, and he's poised to make a move. And then you got the veteran, the 151, Guy Pitra. He's another, if he didn't have bad luck, he wouldn't have no luck at all. But do not count him out.
Yeah, we got the top three right there, and then there's fourth place 101 Alan Myers, Guy Pitra right behind him. Lap down cars, 99 pops, I believe. Yes, the 99 and the 98
really tight.
Lap down.
Some guys that want to go, and T-Roy gets loose. 16 has nowhere to go. He gets into the 83.
And they're
still crashing.
The 129 is in, the 21, the
21.
44, the 5 is Sean Johnson's around.
Sean Johnson around.
Oh man, another carnage accident here. Let's take a quick look here from Sean's view. Let's see if he.
Sean just saw it coming out of the corner of his eye and spun himself. So I think he's okay. He didn't get hit, but them guys was wrecking behind him.
Yeah, Sean spun the car and no contact.
Again. Good. First race in the league, but he's following the rules, and that's slow down when you see a wreck, and that's rule number one when there's a crash, and he managed to do that and got by there.
And taking a look back at the
you can't do no cold trickles,
looking back on the it looked like T-Roy got the car loose in the corner, and then as he corrected, he shot up the track and collected several cars.
Yeah, he had damage from getting caught up in somebody else's stuff there. Bad luck.
83, the 129, the 5, the 44, the 21, all involved in that. 43s also. So a lot of cars involved in that. Not maybe a ton of damage.
Oh, he got pile drive there.
So.
Ouch. Good thing he's a big guy. He's like Ryan Newman there. He'll get out of that thing, roll, flip, crash. He just gets out and goes, man, they need to make these cars safer. But like Ryan Newman says, but he walks out of them. So
and,
I'll be right back.
We're seeing pit stops here. 6 of Mark DeSenza out, 88 of Joe Cutout, 29 Jeff Hale also serviced and out, trying to gather back up this field. And man, this has been a crazy race so far here at Las Vegas. Some high speed wrecking going on. Ken Ron is our leader, Robert Bokum second. Lights are still on the pace car. Well, I can't find what's going on here. Well, I was going to show you the aftermath of that, but I can't find it anymore. So we'll continue on here under caution. Our leader is the 303 of Ken Ron. Robert Bokum second. Ken Hansen third. 101 of Alan Myers fourth. Sam still trying to get those laps back, staying toward the front, but just might not have the car to do it. The 108, Dog Palmer having a great run so far, 5th place. Halfway
what can
through.
you say about the 108? The thought that came to my mind recently was putting the work in. With all his health problems and the fact he's he's paralyzed, so he drives with his arms, but he makes no excuses about that. But all the stuff he's got to do, but he's also put a ton of work in and really starting to make himself into a world-class driver, which, I mean, life is tough, and we all have these battles, but when you see a driver like that, or the 16, then our problems kind of fade away,
Yeah, and usually, most people hear the old saying that, when it's happening to you, it's bad, and you think it's the worst thing in the world, but when you have other people that you can rely on for perspective, they may tell you, you know what, man, yeah, it's not good, but it's not as bad as XYZ, and then it gives you some perspective saying, yeah, you know what, it sucks for me right now, but I know other people have it worse, so I'm not going to complain too much about those things.
John's John's a friend, we text back and forth like, a lot of us do in the league. We become friends, not just racers.
Absolutely.
And I get great feedback from all you guys, and we all do. We all support each other in our real lives.
Absolutely.
It's a big picture thing. So let's get back to racing here.
Yeah, we got the lights out on the pace car. We got our Sammy gonna make another attempt here, but he's got the 99 in front of him. And Pops' car has seen better days, Milty. It looks like a short track car on a speedway, and that's a bad combination. But the 303 Ken Ron's clean. Robert Bokum's clean. Ken Hansen's done a great job keeping the car clean.
A lot of damaged cars right now
here we
behind. These cars behind, and they're still running. I think that tends, unfortunately, to bring more cautions because when you got a lot of beat up cars, they're hard to drive. But we'll have to see if that plays out. But as a driver right now, I'm just kind of holding position. We're just past the halfway point, not quite the 2/3. So, probably a good time to see the big picture and wait to race to the end. You don't want to race hard right now and jeopardize. You just want to kind of keep position,
Yeah, and Ken Hansen not taking your advice right off the bat, Milty.
Simon's in the wall, and that puts Guy Pitra in the wall, and he's still scraping there, the 0-2.
That's a bad break for Guy, man. He was having a good run. Looking at the car, don't see a ton of damage. The right side is wrinkled, though.
Well, you follow the action, and I'll take a look at it. Doesn't look like it's yellow, so we're still green flag racing.
Yeah, we're still green flag racing. Lots of cars mixed in, banged up man, I've never seen so many banged up cars. 6 of Mark DeCenza, though, battling the 29 of Jeff Hale.
The 0-2 just got in the wall on his own. No aggressive move or nothing. He just got in the wall, and then he bounced back into the 151. It was just guy was just trying to get around him there, but that's once stuff happens to you in racing, it kind of keeps happening, but he's still fighting. The car's still going, so
yeah, I'm
definitely
sure
no malice there.
Yeah, and I'm sure
he made a mistake.
Really like a caution, so you can get that damage fixed.
Sure.
Under caution and see what kind of car he has left. It is possible to have a competitive car with damage, for sure. Robert Bokum has told us several times that he, might have clipped the wall to avoid an early wreck, and he carried damage with him throughout the race, and he's definitely managed to bring home checkered flags as well.
Yeah,
so it can be done.
I've had races like that. It's all how the game registers your damage. It's really, it's a very great game, and it's very accurate. But sometimes there's been times when I've hit harder than I thought I did, and had a car to finish well, and there's been times when I didn't hit as not as hard as I thought I did, and vice versa. It's not perfect.
Yeah, well, I think certain parts of the car it grates.
Oh, Saska, Ken Saska in the 07 just pile drive the wall. He's in the rear with the gear now with the damaged car as Bisconder gets by him there. No harm, no foul, no crash.
And we are watching these top four here stay tightly grouped. The 303 leading, 18 Robert Bokum, teammate.
A lot of beat up cars. These guys got skills that I had a beat up car Wednesday night in Atlanta, and let me tell you, that was a handful. And while we were broadcasting there, I was turning right more than once. But it shows you these guys have got skills, but they're getting freight train right now. Big checkup with Mark Fravert with damage there, but they handle it. Great driving. Looks like the 151, even though he got touched by the 02 when he hit the wall, it looks like his car's still pretty strong. He might have dodged a bullet there.
Let's hope so. We see some action here with the 5 of Sean Johnson trying to battle back from that spin to avoid an earlier wreck. And Sean
get damaged, so that's good for him. And he's in the top 10, and that's bad for the competition. He's had such bad luck, and when he hasn't, he just plain ass wins. So he's another stud in the Bokum Motorsports stable. Better watch out.
And right ahead of that battle is the 108, the 6, and the 29. All wadded up together there. Dog on the inside, 29 and the 6 on the outside, trying to do a difficult pass on the outside, which is not easy to do here at Vegas. But Jeff and Mark seem to have cleared it. Dog gets back up to try to protect the line. Now Jeff, Mike Pruitt, and Sean Johnson now side-by-side battling right behind Dog and pressing him pretty hard here.
Dog is a student of this game. And he's a FSB Cup truck champion, and by his own admission, if you asked him, he did it by showing up every race and getting top 5 or top 10 finishes and outlasting the competition. And he's realistic about that. What he wants is more speed now, and he's not settling for that. He wants Sportsman Cup or a Pro Cup championship, or at least to fight for one. And he's a student of the game, and you're seeing there, he's starting to, when a guy like him starts from scratch, and you watch the evolution, and then one day you're on the track, and you've been training this guy for a couple of years, and all of a sudden he's behind you, and you can't lose him. And then all of a sudden you're like, uh-oh.
And
now there he is, and that's what I've seen from the 108. He's the real deal now, and he's going to continue working on this craft, this game.
The race is now almost ended. Thanks with that story, Milty. Appreciate it. While you were talking there, the 72 and the 5 were having a tooth and nail battle there. Sean tried to make it 3 wide. I think Sean getting a touch, maybe feeling a little anxiety, frustration maybe.
3 wide with the 72 and the 21. Whoa!
And
man, he's got a lot of good action on the track with damaged and undamaged cars. A lot of green flag racing here. We've had some cautions, but this, okay, I'll shut up.
There is a race going on too, Milty. 18. Now we're under caution. Now you can talk. 18 car has taken the caution, so Robert Bokum is our leader. Ken Ron second. There's still some debris and wrecking going on here, so guys better be careful.
Easy, boys.
Really coming up hard on that pace car, and then they lock it down, and that can be an accordion effect. That
we like the drivers to take it to the middle of the back straight at very least on a 1.5 mile track.
And
To
Robert
give the
now
back
has,
markers a chance to slow down.
and we're at 74 of 106, so we have, 26 plus 6, 32, 33 laps remaining right now. So this is a one-stop, should be their final stops.
This could be done, yes, absolutely. 33 is right on the envelope, though, of going balls out.
Right, 33 under green would be max, but with these cautions, I think they'll be okay.
Absolutely, yep.
So Robert taking it down. Robert is our leader.
Let's do this.
29 of Jeff Hale, again, right there in the pictures, as is the 9, as is the 6, as is the 101. And I think Sean Johnson,
look at that.
I think if Sean can get some clean track ahead of him, Milty, I think he's driving with an edge right now. And sometimes that's good for people, and sometimes it's bad. But I think maybe for Sean it might be good.
Little thing
we'll
there.
Keep an eye on him.
Yeah, little thing there. Watching the real races, seen the 88 come in. He was P1. He's down now. He made sure he got in his stall and didn't block the 29. That's just a little thing there, but it's courtesy and skill. Because if he misses his pit stop, the 29 was right deep in his stall. He could have had a hard time getting out there. But those are always the little things you're hoping for, luck and also a little help from a friend. And Joe Cutt definitely executed. Always hard coming around the car into your stall, especially when you've led the race, you qualified on first, and you're running with the shit box now. You always, I mean, it's easy to lose your concentration, but
so
he did not.
We're under caution here. We're at lap 75, 106.
So, there's that 29 dude. Well, he's from the Slim Sim Gately Racing stable, and not just all of us that learned from Slim Jim Gately, a legend in sim racing. For his wins, his accomplishment, and his teaching, and his behavior on the track.
Absolutely.
Exemplary.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and just a magnificent teacher.
These guys know these mile and a halfers, man. They know every inch of these tracks, man.
So it looks like our 29 will be our leader as we'll get back going again. The 10, we're showing Steve Weber as the leader, but man, Weber's car is blasted.
Yeah, he's just
I have to think he's pitting.
Yeah, he's pitting.
I've seen a lot of damage on cars in my time in this race, but man, he might have one of the worst back ends I've ever seen. I mean, look
at that.
The spoiler is up at least another like 12 inches higher, so maybe you'll get some more downforce. I don't know.
The thing looks like a stink bug.
I don't know if that thing would even pass post-race inspection. Might be disqualified for driving that piece, but Webb does lead a lap, so he gets that bonus point. And Steve Weber, Milty, this is not a good situation for him. 19 points behind Robert Bochum for the points lead, and Robert Bochum, of course, has a clean car. We're trying to see where Robert is.
Well, that's racing, man.
Robert back in the 18th position right now.
He was doing exactly what he needed to do, and that was keep pace on the 18 and championship race and be smart, and got caught. That's it. Got caught up in it.
Yeah, he got caught up in it. He led a lap though, so that will mitigate a little damage. He gets that extra point. He knows Robert has led laps too, so he's just trying to keep pace. As he gained that point, now Robert's taking it back. They're still level. Now it's just position racing.
Sports, man.
All about position racing now for them. And right now, Robert Bochum showing in the 19th position. Steve Weber showing in the 18th position. So
the 101 makes a gobbledygook on the 6 there and gains track position in the pits. This is the FSB Cup stud here, Alan Myers
Yes, he is.
from Louisiana, and he just snookered a multi-world champion in multiple leagues in the pits.
Well,
you got to find some advantage somewhere.
Hey, you got to take what's given to you. And right now he's in second place, Milty. I'm sure he has the lead on his mind. He knows Mark DeSenza is probably going to be looking to pay back that pass on pit lane with a pass on the track too. So he's got to keep an eye on his mirror at the same time. He's looking forward, and he's trying to get the lead here on Jeff Hale. And that's the way you got to get the lead on Jeff, I think, is it quickly. Because once he starts getting that rhythm in, he's tough to pass.
Absolutely.
And right now, Mark DeSenza has gotten into the back of him.
One goes around. He's in the infield.
Wow.
I don't know if there was contact there. Is the caution out?
The caution has to be out.
If he got going again, the cars are still at full speed.
Caution is out.
Caution is out.
Wow, what a wild ride that was.
I did not see where he ended up, but don't know if he... Whoa, cars are going around him like crazy. Not sure if he got hit or if
we're gonna have to...
on the tires.
Yeah, we'll have to take another look at that. What a wild ride, and I don't think there was any contact once he spun. I don't think anyone hit him, so that's fortunate. But let's take a look. Allen was really pressing the 29 car, but then the 6 came out of nowhere and got a great run on him. Allen just a touch of the apron.
With the lapper right there.
And
a lot of shit going on right there.
Let's take one more look at that. Allen looked like got into the apron just a bit. As we slowly go back, there we see Milty. I'm gonna just slowly put it through the frame mover here, and you can see right there the car unloaded on him as it hit the apron, and I think he got off the gas to correct because the car got loose, and Mark tried to make a move underneath him, and there was contact between the two.
Yeah, and see, Mark actually got out of it because he saw it, but then he picked the throttle back up just a little bit there, because otherwise he would have got Allen would have got pile drive the first move. Mark gets out of it, but then sees the gap and starts to go, and I think Allen is still trying to pick up the throttle there. Just a shame there for him, but. Virtually no contact, just a little love tap.
And he
spun right through the numbers there, and he's got a lockdown there. That's what you got to do when you're spinning. You got to keep peace of mind there and realize that you can still save yourself. And that's what he did. He gave everybody a target they could miss. And these guys are skilled drivers. They're getting off it. They see it. It's close, but he's still got a chance now, but tough luck.
Yeah, and riding with Ken Ron here as Allen was spinning and coming to a stop just past the start-finish line. Woo! And there goes Ken into the grass, almost T-boning Allen, but just cut the wheel enough and kept control of the car, so nice job there by Ken Ron.
And we had the weasel through the other cars underneath him there. And that thing just opened up like the Sea of Galileo, I mean, it just right there, bam, all of a sudden it was open. Look at that. Wow, I'm watching it about 3-second delay. That's incredible. That's all the chance you get. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, it happens quick.
Woo!
And it's more reaction than anything else, and the experienced guys have those reactions. The less experienced guys sometimes will maybe overcorrect, and instead of hitting the inside wall, you end up coming all the way back up across the track and into the outside wall. Other guys know just enough to kind of move that wheel to mitigate a spin or to keep the car in one spot on the track as it's spinning. So everyone knows if I go down low, I'll avoid it, or go high, I'll avoid it. Instead of saying, "Is this guy going to spin high, low? Where's he going?"
Well, lest we forget, looking back at the lead here, Jeff Hale, he had some major back surgery this year.
Yeah, he's still in recovery mode as far as I know, but yeah. Good medicine here, winning races.
Well, you know, it's a game, but you still got to sit in the seat, race for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and also do life. So he's definitely, got the 9 there, really running the kind of race I think he wants to run, like he did when he won. And another win would not hurt his point chances. But you got some studs here. You got some hungry studs. You got the 6 and the 5, and Mike Pruitt in P5 there. It's been a while for the Texas native to get up there late in the race like this. And
I think he's hungry. I'm telling you, Milty, the 5 car is. He's ticking right now, and
well, he's so talented. He's so great. He's the newest guy that's come in and embraced the road racing that we do. A lot of it on the side, and we do have a new series coming up.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And we have some great tracks. We got the great Coda.
It's going to be fun.
We got some bitchin' shit going out, and instantly, the first time I seen this dude on the track, the 5. At Mossport in the truck, and he started suggesting setups. So usually I make most of the road racing setups, but I was instantly going, you know what, I need to listen to this guy, and he just one of those rare talents.
Absolutely, and a super nice guy, great, just a great overall person that you'd want to know regardless of racing, and what the racing is even better. He's in 4th, Milty. I think he's very hungry for this win. I think he wants it bad. But so does Jeff Hale and Ken Hansen and Mark DeCenza, so they'll have something to say about it as well.
He's done it slowly, under duress, without good track position. So a lot of times that gets you in the right frame of mind to race from P5 or P4 he's in. When you run up there, you tend to want to defend your spot. But when you work your way up there and you get there, you start to feel, I still got something left because I was saving a little bit getting through these other cars.
Absolutely. Ken Hansen looking really good right behind Jeff Hale. So is Mark DeCenza. Those 3 have really stuck together this last 20, 30 laps. And quickly trying to be joined by that 5 car and 72. The 5 and 72 here, I think, really feel that they're in a position now where they can win this race for sure. Just 22 laps remaining, so this is the money time. Tires are no longer a factor, I believe. Fuel is certainly not a factor, so this is just racing now. And you can race with a clear head, not worrying about looking at gauges or nothing now. And we're going to see who has the best car between these 5 right now. And it's anybody's race. All 5 nose to tail. Jeff Hale, Ken Hansen, Mark DeCenza, Sean Johnson, and Mike Pruitt.
Well, and then when you go back from that, the 108 is clean and surveying the situation. But then, not sure of the condition of the 23, but he's in a battle with 3 other top 10 cars that we know have damage, but enough damage to compete. And that's the 88, the 16, and the 07 of Saska.
Yeah, and
they're still fighting a good fight and trying to get a top 10.
Yeah, and you got to really like the fight that Joe Cutt put in Milty, fighting back now into the top 10. Of course, he was our pole sitter, led some laps, was up in the top 5 for quite a bit, and
he's definitely not the kind of guy.
Has now had to fight his way back up.
He had a car to win, and as soon as that was taken away, he's racing for the best finish he can get. That's why he's an admin. The administrators are guys that can keep their cool head. And speaking of cool heads, the 303 of Ken Ron is going down under there.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, there's some of these damaged cars are a handful, I think, in the turns, and racing in a handful car is very difficult to do. But we see the 02 trying to follow the back bumper of the 18 up back through the field. There's Guy Petra, like you said, had some maybe has some damage as well, Milty. The 101 Alan Myers. I don't know if he has any damage per se, Milty.
No, he didn't.
He spun.
Nothing, he needs to get going right here. He's got a car that can pass all these guys.
Yeah, and he is getting going. He's pushing Guy underneath the 02 car, who's up high, of course with some damage as well. And Robert Bokum getting a little out of shape there, right behind Ken Ron. Gathered it back up, battling the 80 car there for position. And now the 151 and the 101 paddling. And Ed got shuffled to the outside, and there's that freight train building behind him, and the 151, the 101, and now the 02 all trying to get by.
Well, I think that, one of the differences I see from being back and running some races and broadcasting between these races and the Pro Cup races is the horsepower is so much more in the Pro Cup cars that you see guys like Bokum be able to extenuate that. I think with these cars, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit harder to impose your will, but yet again, it's still early. So, and he knows he doesn't need to impose his will. In an 850 horsepower car. Eventually, your car control really makes a huge difference, along with your other strategy. But even in Pro Cup with all those great drivers, but here's a little different, especially with cautions.
Well, we only have 14 laps remaining, so if you got to go, I think it's time to go now. But right now, I am telling you, these four cars, 29 to 6 to 9 into 5, nose to tail since the green flag flew. The 72 of Mike Pruitt has fallen off slightly from that top four. They're setting a very wicked pace. They're getting into some lap traffic now. The 21 going high, letting the leaders race. But anyone's race right now still. Sean really pressing the 9 car, trying to get that position. I think Sean knows he has a car that can win this race if he can get by these guys. It's just not easy. Everyone just as fast as him probably, and he's just got to pick and choose his spot. And right now, Ken is driving a great race right behind Mark DeSenza, and just nowhere to go for Sean right now.
Yeah, and for several cars behind them, they're probably just as fast if they had clean air and clean track. They're just mired right now, back or in the top 10. They can't go anywhere. The top, pushing the top 5. There's nowhere to go.
Yeah, and you can see there's about a 1 second gap between Mike Pruitt in 5th and the 6th place car. So there is a gap. Mike still staying within a second of the leaders. He's desperately trying to stay on that draft and just sticking with it, but he looks like he might be falling off the pace a little. But this is a torrid pace set by Jeff Hale here, and I think Jeff is always under the belief. Jeff is the tire wear. Yeah, I think Jeff is under the impression he's going to go as hard as he can and try to make everyone use their stuff up, catching them, and hopefully he has the best stuff when it comes down to it.
It's working.
Yeah, he's been in the lead. He's got 8 laps to go. So strategy working as of right now. Mark DeSenza falling back slightly. And Ken Hansen really pressing him now. And Sean Johnson right there as well. So this top 4 now has started to pull away from the 72 car. The Dog Palmer trying to see if he can have one last push here.
He's kind of outlasted the 18 there, which
We got
it
caution
ain't
out.
over. We got
have a
caution
caution
out.
So that's going to change things. I think we will get underway again. 7 laps remaining. I think
Absolutely.
we should get maybe about 2 laps, I think, of racing. So this really changes everything. Tires are worn right now, Milty. If you're the leader, if you're Jeff Hale, what are you doing right now?
Well, they were right on the fuel strategy and pit strategy, so...
Got a pit here?
What do you do? Well, you don't go for 2 if you're in the lead. So you got to go for 4 or nothing. If you got 3 or 4 laps to go, you got to stop.
Let's see what happens.
You got to hope everybody else does. This is big time.
No, he pulls
it.
Oh, man. Mark DeSenza and Mike Pruitt in.
Oh, he's screwed.
Jeff Hale.
Jeff is screwed because
Ken and Sean stayed out.
Stopping.
Well, Ken Hansen stayed out. Sean Johnson stayed out. Robert Bochum has stayed out.
It's going to be 4 laps to go, but... well, I don't know. We'll see.
There's a ton of cars on the lead lap, so Mark
That's why
DeSenza.
Jeff's won a bunch of races this year, and I haven't. Sure.
There is presently 19 cars on the lead lap, Milty. So Mark DeSenza is going to fall back a little there. He's showing right now in 6th place.
Got to go for 4. He got.
I don't know if Jeff snookered him there or if he just was going in regardless, but
yeah, he comes out behind Jeff and the 5 and with fresh tires. Better watch out. The 6 is coming.
Well,
we've seen this in real racing before. If you get 3 or 4 laps, those guys are screwed. I'm telling you. And this 6 knows. Mark DeSenza knows how to get it done. So.
I just think there's going to be too many cars between him and the leaders with all these cars on the lead lap that did not stop.
That's the problem there. You're fighting from 4th is one thing, but it looks like he's going to be behind quite a bit here.
Well, some other guys are coming in. Looks like Guy Petra has elected to come in the second time around, so he'll gain back a couple of positions too as well. Let's once they cross the line here, we'll reset the order.
If it goes green 103, you still got 104, 105, 106. You still got 3 laps. If you're in P4 or P5, you can still win this race with fresh tires.
You can see the 6 car dropping Milty back to 13th place right now, and don't know if that's gonna be. Oh, and Guy Petra is retired with a wheel damage.
I don't know if that's gonna do it.
Oh, bad blow for Guy Petra. Milty was in the top 10 there, looking good, and now he's retired. It says wheel damage. That's unfortunate.
Well, that's unfortunate for the 6 too, because nobody pitted. But I mean, they're on it. Tire wear is not as bad in this mod, so that is one thing. But if you got 3 or 4 laps, you can mow people down. Let's see what he can do.
Well, lights are still on the pace car. We're 6 laps to go.
But not from 13th. Got to be in the top.
Showing right now he's showing right now in the 14th position. As we come back around here, the lights should go off on the pace car, I believe, this lap. So we'd go back. We'd still have 5 laps remaining. So maybe he can make up some time.
Well, he can make up some time, but obviously, like the guys on the ESPN booth, that's why we're in the booth.
We'll have 4 laps to go, Milty, when we take the green. Right now, looking at the 6 car crossing the line in 13th. Doug Palmer also came in, Milty. He's 14th. Ed came in. He's 15th. Joe Cutt came in. He's 16th. So
29 did a nice job of faking.
Very nice job.
And without being ridiculous.
And
there's no rule against it.
No, absolutely not.
As long as you don't wreck somebody. You
Right,
can park
or you don't clip that cone and get a commitment violation, which could happen
if
too.
If I was in this spot, I'd have done the same thing. Hell yeah.
But the 9 car did a great job of reacting too. As Mark went down, he followed Mark and then at the last second jerked it back up onto the track.
Yeah,
and
Hansen is smart.
Yeah, and
he likes to be called Hansen because there's so many dang kick-ins in this league. So.
Yes, we'll call him Hansen, and
he's
not to
the
mention
Hansen brothers.
No, he's not a Hansen brother, but he's a veteran of sim racing. Maybe not a veteran to the league yet. He's of course very well known by now. Very friendly guy, always willing to shoot the breeze with you after the race and stuff like that.
We'll be
but he's very
experienced.
He's
after the race.
Hugely experienced. He knows exactly what he needs to do to win this race. No nerves there at all for Ken Hansen in second place as we go green. Milty, 4 laps remaining. Man. Jeff Hale bringing him down.
That's a disaster for the 6, man. That's totally. He got left out to dry by everybody.
Well, we'll see what happens here, Milty. 9-5, and now the 18 of Robert Bokum suddenly becomes a wild card to these guys. We haven't talked about Robert Bokum challenging for this. Oh, and the 29 car gets loose and into the wall. Oh my! And Ken Hansen damaged. And it's carnage.
Who's gonna win this race? It's the 18. Are you kidding me? And they're still crashing. The 02. There's cars over.
Wow, I'm speechless. The 18 car is in the lead. The 5, I do not see anymore.
It's Robert Bokum. He's got 2 laps to go.
I don't know. I don't know what happened to Sean Johnson.
Here. We got 2 laps to go, so let's see how they line up.
The pace car is out. He's gathering the field. Robert Bokum taking the pace car. But what happened to Sean Johnson?
I just started seeing cars crashing.
Wow, the 29. Don't even know what to say right now.
Well, let's take a look.
Yeah, we got to take a look at that as we're under caution here.
In sim racing, ultimately it is what it is.
Jeff Hale taking the green. Everything looking fine. And just got loose, Milty. Just got loose. Just straight up. Just the tire wear possibly drove it in possibly a little hard.
Welcome to world class sim racing. Sometimes even the best make a huge mistake, and you saw it tonight.
And Ken Hansen, unfortunately, nowhere to go. Jeff Hale into the wall. Ken Hansen in the wall.
He feels terrible about that. That is just, well, you don't think you saw it until you saw it, and he just plain drove it.
And then
he had worn tires. We talked about that, but he did what he had to do, and he just drove the car there.
And then the race to the line, Robert Bokum and Sean Johnson collect each other. Sean goes spinning and loses. It appears that he crossed the line and took the caution and then spun. So will Sean be able to get back to the P2 position, Milty? Just 0.01 seconds across the line to each other. And he has gotten back in line as we go live. Robert Bokum will cross the line. He'll get a white and yellow flag here. The lights are still on the pace car, of course, and this will end the race with one more lap. Robert Bokum first. Sean Johnson lost this race, Milty, by 0.01 seconds.
I think that's about as close as you can lose it.
That's it. The game, from my understanding, the game does calculate out to many different decimal positions. It just doesn't show it.
Now it's reformulating, though. It shows 0.47.
Right. Well, now they're back under the pace conditions, but crossing the line, taking the yellow, it was a 0.01 interval. So we'll stay live here momentarily. Watch Robert Bokum cross the line and take the win, and then we're gonna have to go back.
Golden butt there, that guy.
Wow, what a finish!
If he doesn't just beat your ass, he lucks your ass.
Man, I'll tell you. There's something to be said about being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, but
some say it's lucky. Some say proper preparation gives you your own luck. And
tonight was preparation H, and he squeezed right through there.
But just
that's racing.
This is unfortunate example of the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Jeff Hale, Ken Hansen. Probably very dejected right now. Ken Hansen, third in points, battling for the points lead, for points position, was probably thinking, man, I might win this race and get right into it. And now that's all gone away. He sees his competitor, Robert Bokum, win the race.
Been fine.
That's a bitter pill to swallow. Sean, I'm sure, is thinking what could have been. He probably feels he had a better car than the 18.
If you want to beat everybody every race, then play with the AI cars.
Wow.
Otherwise, you know what? This is racing. It sucks, man. It's a bitter pill to swallow, absolutely. But you know what? It's racing. Sharp gives him a little love tap in the rear there. He did that to me last week just to remind me, hey man, say something about me. So we're saying something about you.
And now, Milty, since we know Robert Bokum is our winner, Sean Johnson second, we got to take a look back at that one last time. Ken Hansen, Jeff Hale were our leaders. Everything was looking like it was going to be a Jeff Hale or a four-car battle. Jeff Hale looked to be the car to beat. Ken Hansen had an excellent car as well. And man, I just so uncharacteristic of Jeff Hale to loop the car, but he did get a little Milty. He was up in the gray part of the track, and at Las Vegas, the gray part of the track, it's very realistic, as you say. These sims, boy, you get into those what they call the marbles, Milty, and worn tires and marbles are not a good combination. And
you
it
just
looked
saw
like
a consummate pro just lose it, and that's how. And we watch them go around, and we just talk while they're driving around, and we're just acting like they're just driving around. Every lap, they're fighting for their life to hold on to that car. So we, we can't get too surprised when they crash, because.
Collecting Ken Hansen and then Ken hard into the outside wall several times. Cars streaming by Ken. The 07 clipped him. The 72 hard into the back of the 9 car. Crashing him into the 6 car very hard. The 303 spinning. Just cars everywhere, Milty. The 303 spinning, the 72, the 44 in the grass. Guys running behind the wreck, slowing down, but still trying to salvage positions here, as that knew that yellow flag would be ending the race, and still contact well after taking the caution. The 43 around, the 16 making contact, the 02 spinning, the 83 spinning. I think every car in the field may have had contact, including our winner Robert Bokum and Sean Johnson.
Well,
wow. And we won't be able to show. I was going to show one more replay of that 0.01 second victory for Robert Bokum, but the server shut me down there. But that's what happens here. Wow. I'm out of breath, Milty. What a finish.
I got some couple things about work here, so I'm texting real quick. Okay, got that. Yeah, that send. Okay. Trying to get a job here.
Yeah, I hear you. I think Robert Bokum is ready to join us, Milty. Robert, man. I can't even ask you a question right now. I'm catching my breath, and I didn't drive the car. You and Sean, what a battle!
What, did y'all ever have a doubt? No, I'm just kidding.
Man.
No, the worst time to get a speeding penalty, me and Ken, we came down together, and I was actually, my little girl had just come upstairs to bring me a drink and kiss me goodnight coming on pit road, so, hey, I'll take it. Kiss was worth it.
That was maybe a good luck kiss in the end.
Yeah, I tell you, that was nuts. I still had pretty good tires on that last run. I knew they were running a lot harder, so I was going to try to go high up in 3 and 4 and get a good run coming down the front straightaway. And it really probably was a good thing that I did go high, because as Jeff started braking, it gave me time to turn down. And then I was missing it, and then all of a sudden Sean come from nowhere he wasn't doing nothing wrong. He was just missing the wreck too. And we touched, and we got apart, and then we hooked again. And I could see his front end at the right front of my fender, and I was like, oh, he's going to beat me at the line. And all of a sudden his car hooked and took off the other way, and I was like, who won? So.
Well,
that was a real rare.
I can
the
absolutely.
29 just got loose,
crazy
up high there, and I mean, it's the last thing you would have expected from him. I'm sure he's devastated, but you guys got the win,
And not to mention that, but it was .01 seconds separating you two as you crossed the line at that yellow, which obviously is the lowest number the game can show. It could have been even under .01, but it would just show .01.
SJ,
so possibly the closest finish in FSB racing history, right there.
Well, Sean Johnson, SJ, I
think he went to the
he's had some. Yeah, he's here. You had some. I drug him up here. You had some bad luck. What's it feel like to finally get some good luck?
I think actually, Sean, it went from kind of bad luck to good luck to bad luck right at the end.
Yeah, I didn't get to call at the end. We were tied there.
Yeah, it was like an all point nothing,
That was a pretty incredible finish, but first I gotta say sorry to Troy. I did get into him earlier, and I think it was when the connection was going a little haywire, but didn't mean to do that at all. But yeah, great end there.
Yeah, the 29 and 9 heartbreak for both of them. When that happened, were you surprised at all? Or I mean, it was shocking. I don't even think I was able to even say anything. I was kind of stunned that I was watching him spin.
Well, I saw Jeff go in there, and it caught me off guard that he was going in there so hard. And then when I seen him break loose, I was just trying to get to the bottom and got together with Robert. Then they couldn't really get off of him. Then I saw the yellow come out, so I just kind of floored it again.
Well, I see the 29 in the main racing channel. I'm sure he's apologizing to the 9 there and to the guys. Definitely consummate pro. And he definitely did want to throw the win away, but there it is.
Yeah, that's heartbreak there.
It's a heartbreaker,
Jeff
been there, done that.
Yeah, Jeff had a good car all night, so I want to give a shout out to him and Ken.
Always a real clean racer. Last thing he wanted to do was be part of the outcome there. He wanted to win that race.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He deserved it too. But I want to give a shout out to Apple Collision Center. I'm telling you, they're going to be on everybody's car next year. It's luck. I'm telling you, it's the luck of the.
So you pay me a car, I'll drive it.
There you go. But I do want to take a minute and give a shout out to Derby, who's not here tonight. I did see on Facebook today was his. I reminded myself if I got in the booth, I was going to remember. So Derby, I see you say happy birthday to your 10-year-old daughter. So I want to give a shout out to Derby's daughter for her 10-year-old birthday. I didn't want to forget that. And give a shout out to the guys at Apple Collision Center. I know they're watching, cheering us on. I know they're excited about the great finish.
Oh, I'm sure they are, as is everyone. And Robert, the other maybe side bar here is both Steve Weber and Ken Hansen, of course, did not get the finishes that they were hoping for, and the points lead now stretches out for you. I know that's maybe not a big thing on your mind at the moment, but it was looking like Ken was going to hang right with you there, and now through some luck and bad luck, there you are.
Yeah, we missed the race, and it kind of, put all of everybody real close. And after I sped, I mean, honestly, I didn't think there was a chance because everybody could run their tires so hard. So I was just going to try to get back to the top 10, 5, try to keep as much as I could. And like I said, I didn't expect that. Jeff is, he's one of the greatest competitors out here, and he's a great wheelman. And I can guarantee you that if anybody could have come out of that safe, he would have. So just a bad deal. And I mean, we just lucked up, was in the right spot. I've had it vice versa before. I did the same. Matter of fact, I did the same thing at this track. I shifted and it spun sideways on a restart. So I know how heartbreaking it is for him.
Yeah, it's the pressure of sim racing with all these great drivers. He'll analyze that, and I guarantee he'll be ready for the next one, and he might whip off a few after this.
Oh, well, as soon as we come in the channel, he's already laughing. I mean, he's just a great guy,
Yeah, he's in there apologizing to the guys.
Yeah,
And,
I mean, the guy had neck surgery or back surgery, and he's right back in here with us. So, I mean, he even texted me one morning and was checking on my mom. So, I give a shout out to Jeff, and it just shows you we're not only competitors in here, we're friends too.
Absolutely. And with that crazy finish, we really didn't get a chance to go down the running order, Milty. Jim Scharf steals third place there in the melee. Dave Simons, fourth place. Dave Simons, our brand new applicant, Milty, with a top 5, and Ken Soska, who was in, seemed like maybe 1 or 2 early incidents, brought it home in 5th place. So a huge scramble in the points, and Ken managed to get a top 10 out of it to kind of salvage that point night. And Steve Weber bouncing back as well to a 7th place finish with major damage to the car.
That's one of them deals there where FSB tells you to slow for a wreck, but at that instant, you just hammer down and hope you make it through it.
You knew that was it. There wasn't going to be any more green flags, so you got to do what you got to do there. And yeah, it was a crazy. I think maybe half the field was involved in either a spin or a hit or both. And of course, it was basically after the caution there. Of course, Sean spun, and you were able to obviously get back in line there. So. Good timing, I guess, for the spin across the start-finish line.
Yeah, that's what I told him. We're kind of guy the caution came out before he crossed the line. I would have felt terrible for us to, being teammates and hook like that, even though neither one of us could do anything about it. But I see you got the Pink Panther self in here for his great.
Milty's favorite car is finally in the booth.
Well, Sharfie's run. Hard all year and clean, and he had some luck today. What's it like to be on the podium there, Jim?
It's pretty cool. I've never been up here before, never made it up this high, and we finally did it on a Friday night here too, and I can come up here to booth with these guys. It feels pretty good up here, and I like to say it was a nice job by Robert and Sean there. It got kind of hairy at the end there. I didn't know what was going on between them two, and somehow I managed to avoid all the disasters all night long and kept my car clean and made it up here in 3rd place.
You've run clean all year, and I mentioned a couple times in the broadcast, we seem to find ourselves, and and like guys like you, Jim Talbert, a lot of guys that come in the league the last couple of years, very skilled drivers, and the skill level in this league is tremendous, and we see, Bochum, we see Sean Johnson up here a lot, but it's good to see you up here. I've raced against you for position, and I know you're a fantastic driver, so great job on P3, man.
Yeah, thanks. I also like to thank my sponsors there at Freightliner for giving me that Pink Panther mobile to drive around there.
Yeah, some trucking companies getting some love there, Sean and Jim there. The trucking companies flexing their muscles tonight.
Oh, if you could drive a big rig, man, you could probably drive a sim car.
Yep.
You can wheel an 18-wheeler, you can wheel these cars, that's for sure. We got, Swift and Freightliner battling away for supremacy here, Milty.
Well,
give a
you
shout
know,
out to whichever one wants to get Balkan Motorsports free trucks to get the car to the race this week. We appreciate that.
Well, also,
You don't want to change
mentioned,
your sponsor. You got the
No.
four leaf clover sponsor right now.
well, I want to throw you a bone real quick, Robert. We're all of us been around racing or whatever, but you're still trying to get a real race car out there. How's that late model program going?
We're actually putting something together now for next year, which I'm excited about. I think my little one's the most excited because she hasn't got to see me on the track.
Yeah, and the real race car.
Right, yeah. So she's really excited. Matter of fact, at her school, they did she's only in